If you love liberty, declare your independence by signing the Shire Society Declaration at shiresociety.com.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm here to introduce House Bill 228. For the record, I am Representative Greg Hill. I represent the towns of Northfield and 1/3 of the city of Franklin. That's Merrimack 3. This was a fairly simple bill. It came to me as from a constituent whose son and daughter both attend UNH. The daughter is a minor, and the son is over age 21. The daughter drives a standard, the son does not drive a standard. And so the son asked the daughter, or asked his sister, if she would drive him to the liquor store in order to purchase beer. As they left the liquor store, they were pulled over and arrested because she was under age 21. She was legally driving. It was not her beer. It was her over age 21 brothers. But she was arrested. She was also required to hire an attorney. It went all the way up to court and then was tossed out. But that was the genesis of this bill. It just seemed odd that depending on where they sat in that car made all the difference in the world. If the daughter was sitting in the passenger side and the son was driving, no problems. If one was in the other seat, this was the big problem. It almost caused her to lose a travel away opportunity in Australia, as a matter of fact. As the case came to me and I started thinking about it, I discovered that I actually could have been guilty of this myself. Yeah, I know it's hard to believe. My son and my family was invited to a Christmas party. I couldn't arrange my schedules, so I asked my son to drive my mother, 93 years old, to the party. When I got there, I was drinking some wine and said, "This is great, where did this come from?" And my mother said, "I brought it," my 93-year-old mother. And then I'm realizing my son drove her there, could have very easily been in the same predicament as that son and daughter in the original case. So I think this is a fairly common thing. The original drafting of the bill did not have age 25 in there. That was an amendment added by criminal justice. I think it was more a splitting of the baby that they did. There were half of the subcommittee didn't want any date mentioned, which is what the original bill said. And the others didn't want the bill to pass at all, so they kind of split the difference and said age 25 for the legal age sibling. If it were up to me and I were sitting where you are, I would drop that age 25. I don't think it makes any difference if somebody is age 21 and able to buy alcohol, what seat they sit in matters. But obviously, you can handle it any way you'd like. It is a much better bill than the current law, and it is. They also added a couple of things that were overlooked, which were step grandparents and domestic partner, both of which I think add to the bill. So if it were me, I would just eliminate that age of 25. I don't know the purpose of that. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions and take no more of your time.
Okay, thank you very much for your question this morning, Representative. Are there any questions from the committee? Senator Lansky.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. To me, this makes a lot of common sense, except that why does there have to be a relative in the car that's overage?
Thank you for your question. It's an excellent point. In the first go round of this bill, it was the chiefs of police that pointed that out and said, you know, does it really make much difference for us although they didn't want to get into the whole genealogy thing. They didn't want to say, you know, this is the someone. To me, it would be fine if it was anyone of legal age and would take possession of that alcohol. The original case, funnily enough, if you care about it, the original case for this, the law was written on a case that this law wouldn't have fixed. It was a case down in the southern part of the state where some girls, all underage, had beer, got into an got stopped by the police. The police just took their beer and let them go. They went to Massachusetts, bought more beer, and on the way back through New Hampshire, were in an accident and somebody was killed. So this was kind of one of those knee-jerk creations, but interestingly enough, they were all underage in that. This bill wouldn't have affected it at all. So it's run a gamut. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It makes no difference to me whether they're relatives or not.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any further questions? Mr. Lehman, do you have time?
I just have a watch remark, so.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll call Ryan Smith. Good morning, Mr. Smith.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. I'm Representative Smith. I represent Northfield and the city of Franklin, and I was the primary sponsor of this legislation. I sit before you at 20 years old, so still a couple months away from being 21. So I felt that this legislation was kind of important to me because I am one of the few people in this body who could ever be in this situation still. So, Representative Hill kind of talked about all the points about why this law is a good idea and why it needs to be.
Okay.
But if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. Representative Smith, excuse me. Are there any questions for Representative Smith? Seeing none, thank you very much. The chair will call Ian Freeman.
Good morning, I'm Ian Freeman, one of the co-chairs of the New Hampshire Liberty Party. Fully support this legislation and the intention and also the suggestions that the first speaker made to improve it, to widen it, because in my opinion it doesn't go far enough. This is the live free or die state, and why we continue this charade of believing that people under the age of 21 are somehow going to be deterred by various different enforcement measures out there from drinking. Come on, let's get real. Odds are good that every single one of you on this committee had a drink under the age of 21. Now, whether it was legal at that time is another question. But when we look at societies where the legal age of consent for drinking is lower, you tend to find that younger people are more responsible with their drinking. So whether we're talking about Europe or in Canada, for instance, when things are prohibited and they are pushed underground, that tends to generate more irresponsibility. It makes it so people are more likely to hide what it is that they're doing, the things they're interested in. So, let's be realistic. I'm from Keene, it's a college town, and every weekend there are police out there enforcing underage drinking laws. And really all that ultimately does is it just drives revenue into the state court system. Every one of those teenagers and early 20s people who gets arrested, do you really think they're going to stop drinking? Come on. They're not going to stop. They're just going to try to hide it better the next time. So ultimately it's just impoverishing them by having them and their parents pay hundreds of dollars for each arrest and not protecting anybody. It's taking away precious police time. So what I'd like to see is the drinking age lowered ultimately to at least 18, and I think that would solve a lot of these problems. But this is a good bill and it's a step in the right direction. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Freeman. Are there any questions for Mr. Freeman? Seeing none, thank you very much. Are there any other member of the public who would like to speak to House Bill 228? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing.
We'd like to invite you to visit freekeen.com. Freekeen.com features audio, video, and blogs chronicling the transition to a voluntary society. FreeKeene.com also has comments and discussion forums so you can be heard. FreeKeene.com.
I should be in Keene, New Hampshire with the Free Staters.